The airport was bustling, travelers rushing past each other, dragging suitcases and dreams. But one woman stood still, calm, poised, and quietly powerful. Her name was Dr. Maya Ellis, and in just a few minutes, everything around her would explode into chaos. Security officers whispered, passengers stared, and before she knew it, she was surrounded, accused, searched, humiliated. No one asked who she really was. They saw her skin before they saw her soul, but when the FBI agents finally arrived, the entire airport went silent. Watch until the end. Wait a second. Tell us where you're watching from in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. Dr. Maya Ellis wasn't just another traveler. She was a neuroscientist, a decorated researcher for the U.S. government, returning from a global summit where she'd presented her findings on trauma recovery for veterans. And years of work, sleepless nights, and breakthroughs had brought her there. But at that moment, all she wanted was to get home, to her daughter, her team, and a quiet morning in her lab. She moved through the airport like anyone else, passport ready, laptop tucked under her arm. Her sharp suit and quiet confidence made her stand out, but not for the reasons she hoped. A few glances turned into murmurs. A security officer watched her for too long. Another whispered into a radio. Maya didn't notice at first. She was exhausted. But the air around her began to change, the kind of chill that only comes before something goes terribly wrong. As she placed her bag on the conveyor belt, the officer's eyes narrowed. He asked her to step aside. She obeyed calmly, assuming it was random. But then 2 more guards appeared. The line behind her stalled. Someone whispered, "She looks suspicious." Maya's heart sank. She'd seen this before. Different settings, same script. The same subtle suspicion that turned ordinary moments into humiliation. They began opening her suitcase, pulling out every item as if it were evidence. Her awards, her research documents, her identification, all handled with skepticism. She tried to explain that she had just returned from an international conference. They didn't listen. One guard radioed in for backup, saying they had a potentially high-risk traveler matching a watch description. Passengers began recording, eyes filled with curiosity and quiet judgment. Maya's pulse raced. Her identity, her years of achievement, meant nothing here. In their eyes, she was just a threat. She saw one officer on the phone whispering, "Contact the FBI." Her mind screamed in disbelief. The FBI for what? She had followed every rule, every procedure. Yet she stood there, a scientist, treated as a criminal. She thought of her daughter waiting at home, proud of her mother's work. Would this be what she'd see online tonight? A viral clip of her being detained? Maya lifted her head, refusing to show fear. But inside something cracked. The question echoed in her mind. What more must I prove just to be seen as human? The scene froze when the FBI agents entered the terminal. Their presence shifted the air. Everyone expected them to handcuff her to confirm the threat. But instead, they walked straight toward her, faces familiar, expressions solemn. Then, to everyone's shock, they saluted. "Dr. Ellis," one of them said firmly, addressing her with respect the others hadn't. Cameras caught the stunned silence. The TSA officers stepped back, realizing too late who she was. The woman whose neuroscience research had helped save dozens of soldiers' lives, whose trauma program was funded by the very agency they'd called for help. Passengers gawked as agents carried her bags and escorted her out with honor. The same officers who had humiliated her stood frozen, watching the truth dismantle their prejudice in real time. Outside, Maya inhaled deeply. The sky felt different, wide, freeing, yet heavy with the weight of what had happened. She didn't yell. She didn't demand an apology. She just walked away, dignity intact, but her heart bruised. That night, the story went viral. Millions watched, outraged and inspired. A woman wrongly accused, then revealed as a hero. But for Maya, it wasn't about vindication. It was about the truth that no title, no achievement, no level of success could shield her from what her skin meant to others. She returned to her lab the next morning and got back to work. Because change, she believed, doesn't start in outrage. It begins with resilience. How many more Maya Ellises will it take before society learns to see beyond color? Where are you watching from? Take care.